The Constitution of India, Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution.
സുഗതകുമാരി സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യസമര സേനാനിയും കവിയുമായിരുന്ന ബോധേശ്വരൻ്റെയും സംസ്കൃതം പ്രൊഫസറായിരുന്ന കാർത്യായനി അമ്മയുടെയും മകളായി 1934 ജനുവരി 22 ആറന്മുളയിൽ ജനിച്ചു. കാവ്യകൈരളിയുടെ മുറ്റത്ത് കത്തിനിന്ന നിറദീപം, മലയാളത്തിൻ്റെ ഹരിതഹൃദയത്തിൻ്റെ മിടുപ്പ്, മലയാണ്മയുടെ മഹാസുഹൃതമായ കവി, അമ്മ എന്നിങ്ങനെയെല്ലാം സുഗതകുമാരി അറിയപ്പെടുന്നു. പരിസ്ഥിതിയെപ്പറ്റി ഇത്രയും ആകുലപ്പെട്ട മറ്റൊരു ജീവിതം കാണാൻ പ്രയാസമായിരിക്കും. സഹ്യനേൽക്കുന്ന ഓരോ മുറിവും അവരെ വേദനിപ്പിച്ചു. അതിനായി ഐതിഹാസികമായ സമരങ്ങൾ നടത്തി, പരിഹാസശരമേറ്റു മുറിയാതെ കവിതകൾ എഴുതി, സൈരന്ധ്രി വനത്തെ കാത്തുസൂക്ഷിച്ചു, കൃഷ്ണവനത്തെ പരിപോഷിപ്പിച്ചു, പള്ളിയോടങ്ങൾ ചാഞ്ചാടുന്ന പമ്പാതീരഭൂമിയെ കവരുന്നതിനെ എതിർത്തു. പ്രകൃതിക്കായി അവർ അധികാരികളുമായി നിരന്തരം കലഹിച്ചു. അതുപക്ഷേ നമ്മുടെ ഭാവിക്കു വേണ്ടിയായിരുന്നു, നിലനിൽപ്പിനു വേണ്ടിയായിരുന്നു എന്നത് നമ്മൾ സൗകര്യപൂർവ്വം മറന്നു. മരക്കവി എന്ന പരിഹാസം അമരകവിയെ തളർത്തിയില്ല. ആശയറ്റ സ്ത്രീജന്മങ്ങൾക്കും മനസ്സറ്റുപോയ ജീവിതങ്ങൾക്കും പാവം മാനവ ഹൃദയങ്ങൾക്കും അവർ അഭയമുദ്രയണിഞ്ഞ ദേവിയായിരുന്നു. തൻ്റെ അവസാന അഭിലാഷങ്ങൾ മാതൃഭൂമിയോട് അവർ പങ്കുവച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. തൻ്റെ ഓർമ്മയ്ക്ക് ഒരു ആൽമരമുണ്ടാവണം എന്നു മാത്രമായിരുന്നു ആ ആഗ്രഹം. ചുവന്ന പഴങ്ങളുണ്ടാകുന്ന ആൽമരം. ഒരുപാട് പക്ഷികൾ അതിൽ വരും. തത്തകളൊക്കെ വന്ന് പഴങ്ങൾ തിന്നുന്ന അഭയവൃക്ഷം. അതിൻ്റെ പുറത്ത് ഒന്നും എഴുതി വയ്ക്കരുത്, അവിടെ ചിതാഭസ്മവും കൊണ്ടുവയ്ക്കരുത്. ആ ആൽമരം എവിടെ നടണമെന്നും എഴുതി വച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. തിരുവനന്തപുരത്തെ പേയാട്. മനസ്സിൻ്റെ താളം തെറ്റിയ നിരാലംബർക്കായി അവർ പടുത്തുയർത്തിയ അഭയയുടെ പിറകുവശത്തെ പാറക്കൂട്ടത്തിനടുത്ത്. താപത്തെ തടയുന്ന, വേരറ്റു വീഴാത്ത മഹാവൃക്ഷമായി അത് വളർന്നു പടർന്ന് തണൽ തരട്ടെ. ഇതായിരുന്നു അവരുടെ അവസാനത്തെ അഭിലാഷം. മാതൃഭൂമി ന്യൂസ് എഡിറ്റർ മലയൻകീഴ് ഗോപാലകൃഷ്ണൻ അവസാനമായി സുഗതകുമാരിയെ കണ്ടപ്പോൾ അവർ പറഞ്ഞതിങ്ങനെ: ചേച്ചിയും സുജാതയും പോയി, ഇനി ഞാൻ മാത്രം എന്തിനു കിടക്കണം? ജീവിതത്തിൽ ഞാൻ എന്തിനു വേണ്ടി പോരാടിയോ ആ അധർമ്മശക്തികളെല്ലാം വീണ്ടും പുനർജീവിക്കുന്നു. മലകളും പുഴകളും നശിക്കുന്നു. സഹ്യാദ്രിയിൽ പോലും പാറകൾ പൊട്ടിക്കലും മരം മുറിക്കലും തകൃതിയായി നടക്കുന്നു. മദ്യവും മയക്കുമരുന്നും നാടിനെ മുടിക്കുന്നു. സ്ത്രീകൾക്കും കുട്ടികൾക്കും നേരെയുള്ള അക്രമങ്ങളും കൊലപാതകങ്ങളും കൂടിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നു. ഇനി ഇതിനെതിരെ പോരാടുവാൻ എനിക്ക് ശക്തിയില്ല. എത്രയും വേഗം ലോകത്തു നിന്നും പോകണം. എനിക്കിനി അധിക കാലമില്ല. എൻ്റെ മരണം അടുത്തിരിക്കുന്നു. എൻ്റെ ശവശരീരത്തിൽ ഒരു പൂവും ഇടാൻ പാടില്ല. സർക്കാരിൻ്റെ ഔദ്യോഗിക ബഹുമതികളൊന്നും എനിക്ക് വേണ്ട. ശരീരം തന്നെ മെഡിക്കൽ കോളേജിന് കൊടുക്കണമെന്നായിരുന്നു ആഗ്രഹം. പക്ഷേ ബന്ധുക്കൾ അതിനെതിരാണ്. അതിനാൽ ഇത്രയും വേഗം ശരീരം ശാന്തി കവാടത്തിൽ ദഹിപ്പിക്കണം.
Welcome back, my dear 5th standard children. So, did you all watch the Christmas videos in Disney Guru channel? Did you all like it? Apart from entertainment, these videos provide messages too, isn't it? Some of the virtues from Bible were discussed in these videos. Commitment is one of the important virtue. Children, now you are in 5th standard, that is UP. So it's important that you are aware of your own commitments. What are your commitments? Waking up early, getting involved in some sort of physical activities, keeping yourself fit, helping your parents, and if you have siblings, help them too. So these are your small commitments, small efforts which will lead to your successful life. Okay? And these efforts will also help you to keep diseases at bay, which we were discussing in our previous class. In the previous class, we were discussing what all diseases do we come across and what are the different modes that through which diseases are transmitted. Today, we will discuss few more facts about this chapter. Okay? So, mosquitoes are the important creatures which spread about or which transmit a lot of diseases like dengue, malaria, filaria, etc. So, what are the situations which favor these mosquitoes to breed, multiply and transmit all those diseases? How are we providing these favorable situations for them? Shall we see? There is a picture in your textbook which explains all these favorable situations for mosquitoes to breed and multiply. Shall we see the picture? Let me explain the picture for you. You can see a vessel filled with stagnant water, which is favorable situation for a mosquito to breed and multiply. After that, you can see coconut shells. Yes, it is kept open, which helps mosquitoes to breed. Waterlogged flower pots and unhygienic ditch, which are all favorable situations for mosquitoes to breed. You can also see waterlogged kitchen areas, back of kitchen areas, broken pots and eggshells, and the air pipe of septic tank is kept open for the mosquitoes to breed and multiply. So children, these are the favorable situations for mosquitoes to breed, multiply and transmit all sorts of diseases. So how can we avoid such multiplication of mosquitoes? Only way is cleaning our surroundings. Yes, make it a point that your surroundings, at least around your house, there is no favorable situations for mosquitoes to breed. That is, at least once in a week, you have to clean outside your premises, that is house premises, to avoid the breeding and multiplication of mosquitoes. Is it enough if we clean only the house premises or your backyard and front yard of your house? Is it enough? No. So, how can we reduce the breeding and multiplying of mosquitoes? Yes, you have to take initiative. That is, you have to observe dry day. What is dry day? You have to ask all the residents in your area to observe a dry day. For example, Sunday can be taken as a dry day. So Sunday, all of you can clean the front yard, roadside, backyard of your houses. Or if one street is cleaned, automatically it will be a role model for others and they will also start cleaning by the next week. So if your house is clean, your area is clean, and if your area is clean, the next street will also be clean, and it goes on, right? So a dry day should be observed strictly by all the residents of a particular colony. So what will you do on a dry day? On a dry day, all the waterlogging dry pots, that is flower pots, everybody has flowers, right? So just check if the water is logging in the flower pots. If it is, you have to drain it out and dry it, keep it dry at least for one day. Likewise, all the vessels which contain water in our house, where we fill water and keep, all these vessels should be cleaned and kept upside down. Okay, at least for one day it should be dry. Why are we doing this again and again? Why do we observe dry day? Because the eggs of mosquitoes take 8 days to hatch, and then a new mosquito will come off. So before 8th day, that is 7th day, you have to observe the dry day, or else what happens? The mosquito eggs will hatch and thousands of mosquitoes will come out and it will become uncontrollable for us, right? So observing dry day is very important, not only for you for your neighbor, this side and that side neighbor, or all the residents of a particular street or colony. So if you observe dry day to a certain extent, you can control the multiplication of mosquitoes. What else can we do to avoid the bites of a mosquito? Usually in our houses we use mosquito bags, we use mosquito nets, coils, that is fogging, we call it as fogging. So or else what can we do? These days we get mosquito sticks like incense sticks, right? So if we lit that, which is made up of neem, so if we lit that, obviously we can reduce the incoming of mosquitoes into our house to a little extent. So these are some other ways through which mosquitoes, that is the bites of mosquitoes, can be avoided. But the only way to eliminate or eradicate mosquitoes is to observe dry day. Okay? These are some of the facts which you must be aware regarding the transmission of diseases by mosquitoes. Other than that, there are some other ways also through which diseases are transmitted. How is it? We'll see the picture here which is given in your textbook. We can see a boy sneezing. Yes, sneezing is one of the way. Through air, diseases can be transmitted. In the second picture, you can see a toilet and well is constructed nearby. So what happens? There are chances of water seeping either this way or that way. So a mix-up of water can happen and it can lead to diseases. And look at the nails of the third picture. So unhygienic habits, isn't it? So you are not following hygiene. And look at the fourth picture, uncovered foot which is attacked by flies. So these are some other modes through which diseases can be transmitted. A table is given below. We will discuss some more facts. So modes of transmission of diseases through mosquito. Avoid stagnation of dirty water. Apart from that, what can you do? Observing dry day, isn't it? And third one you can write it in the textbook itself. Observing dry day. And the third point you can write, yes, using mosquito nets, coils or sticks. You can write it down in your textbook itself. Through housefly. So housefly, if diseases are transmitted through housefly, what are the precautions to be taken to avoid that? The first one is keep the house and premises clean. Of course, we should swab the house every day. Keep food covered. Other than that, what should you do? You should eliminate the coming of flies through some ways. Okay, that is the only way you can avoid house flies. And the third one is through food and water. How can you avoid diseases, or what are the precautions to be taken for diseases that is transmitted through food and water? So what all things can you do? Drink only boiled water and cooled water, the first one. Second one is avoid intake of stale food. Avoid stale food. And what will be the third and fourth point? Avoid street foods. Okay, that is the third point. You can note it down. Avoid street foods. You should avoid food that is sold by street vendors, because it is going to be dirty and the food will be covered with all the dirt that is flying in the street. Okay, so avoid street foods. And the fourth one is the food should always be covered. Okay, if you are keeping food for some time, the food should be covered. And through contact, what are the diseases that is spread through contact, and what are the precautions to be taken? Stay away from the infected person, that is one. And number two, what else? Avoid traveling. You should not come to school if you are infected. So avoid travel. And one more thing you can write, use handkerchief or mask, face masks. Through air. So now we are experiencing it. What all things we do? That is, nowadays we are experiencing corona pandemic, isn't it? So that is spread through air, isn't it? So what are the precautions to be taken to avoid that? Using face mask. You can write it down. Use face mask. Use hand sanitizer. First point is use face mask. Second one, use hand sanitizer whenever required, and the third one is wash hands thoroughly with soap. Okay, so you can note it down in the textbook itself. So we have a quote here: prevention is better than cure, isn't it? So it is always best to take precautions instead of getting the diseases and going for treatment. So it's a very good quote: prevention is better than cure. Only thing is we have to take precautions that we get attacked by such diseases. So children, we studied about microorganisms which are causing diseases. Yes, microorganisms, there are good and bad microorganisms. A coin has two sides, isn't it? So there is always good and bad for all the things we see in this universe. So what are the microorganisms which cause diseases? Fungus, virus, bacteria. Are they always bad? Just think. For example, morning your mother makes curd. How does your mother make curd? Have you observed that? She takes milk and adds 1 spoon of curd to that. After some time, maybe 4 or 5 years later, you can see that the milk has turned into a good thick curd. So how does it happen? Only because of a microorganism, that is bacteria. Okay, this microorganism helps the milk to curdle and form a good curd, which we all take along with the rice, isn't it? Very happily. Most of us like curd. Likewise, there are many things which happen in our daily life. For example, idli batter. Have you observed how your mother makes idli batter? Yes, she grinds and she mixes and she keeps it for rest. After 8 hours, maybe overnight, after overnight morning she will make idli. So what is happening there? The batter gets fermented. So fermentation means it is done by microorganism, it is done by a bacteria. So this bacteria works there and it ferments the batter and we get very tasty, nourishing, nutrient filled idlis, isn't it? So microorganisms are helping us also. There are good and bad microorganisms. Many instances happen like this. Usually when you travel in roads, you can see a dead crow or sometimes a dead cat or a dead dog, something you will see on the roads, isn't it? So what happens after some time to these dead organisms? What happens? Have you observed? You can see first crows coming and sitting. Later on flies will be sitting. After 2-3 days you can see worms. And what happens? That is, invisible microorganisms also will come and sit in that dead organism and it will consume all the nutrients from the organisms, that is dead organism. So imagine if microorganisms are not there, what will happen? All the living things in this planet will definitely die one day. So if microorganisms are not there, what will happen to all these dead organisms? There will be no microorganisms to feed on these dead organisms and all the dead organisms will be piled up, isn't it? So the planet will be full of dead organisms. So what is the important role of microorganisms? You can see, isn't it? Microorganisms, they play an important role, isn't it? To keep up the cycle, that is life cycle on the planet. So we have come across many instances where microorganisms play a good role. Shall we discuss some more instances? Turning milk into curd, fermentation of rice batter, converting atmospheric nitrogen into salts in the soil which are easily absorbed by plants. When does this happen? During thunder, that is heavy thunder is there, lightning is there. That time what happens? The atmospheric nitrogen is broken and it falls down as salts along with rainwater. And these salts are easily absorbed by plants and plants are very happy when they get extra nitrogen because nitrogen is going to promote their growth. Okay, so decomposing fecal matter in the soil all sorts of fecal matter. What is fecal matter? All the excretions given out by living things. Okay, all this fecal matter is decomposed by microorganisms, and they are then mixed in the soil and turned into wonderful manure, isn't it? So used in the industries of milk products, vinegar, jute, tobacco, leather, etc. So imagine all the milk products. What are the milk products available in market? Paneer, isn't it? Paneer, cheese is there. All these are done by microorganism. Vinegar, what is vinegar? We'll call it as acetic acid, sort of an acid usually used in pickle. That is also got only by the hard work of microorganism. Jute, that is കയറ് കൊണ്ടുള്ള ഉൽപ്പന്നങ്ങളൊക്കെ ഇല്ലേ, ഇത് only microorganism is helping out to do all this. Tobacco, leather, we get many products made of leather, right? All these are the hard work of microorganisms. Utilized in the field of medicine. Microorganisms are used in the field of medicines too. For vaccines, mainly microorganisms play a very important role. I hope you know what is vaccine, right? Right from the time of birth, a child has to take different types of vaccines to prevent itself from different sorts of diseases. Okay? We learned that microorganisms are useful in many ways. Aren't they harmful too? Yes, microorganisms are harmful too. Presently, we are experiencing what happens when we are being attacked by a coronavirus, right? We have to self-quarantine ourselves at least for 14 days. So that it doesn't spread to another person. So we are infected in such a way that we have to self-quarantine ourselves, right? So it is harmful, right? But it is also helping mankind in many other ways. Superbug. See, there is a box given in your textbook. Superbugs are a kind of bacteria developed by a scientist of Indian origin, Anand Mohan Chakrabarty. These bacteria feed on oil, and so they are used to prevent the contamination of sea by the oil spilled from ships. So usually in big ships, oil is being drilled in marine areas. So usually in marine areas you see oil being drilled out from the ocean. Sometimes this oil is being spilled also. There is a microorganism called superbug which decomposes all these oil spills, helps to keep the ocean clean. So such good work is also being done by microorganism. Harmful microorganisms cause diseases in us, don't they? Can't we prevent them? Yes. We will learn how harmful organisms are causing us diseases. We can prevent them also. How? The human body has the innate ability, that is inborn ability to resist diseases. Yes, some get cold very soon. For example, I get cold very rarely, and if I get cold, I get infected at least for a week. But there are some people among yourself itself you can see, some people get cold very often, quite often. So why is that? Because the cells in our body are not strong enough to fight against the pathogen, that is the microorganism which causes this cold. So what should we do? We should develop our innate ability. We will see how we can develop our innate ability. What should we do? All that we will discuss in our next class. Okay? So bye children. Take care of yourself. See to that you prevent all sorts of mosquitoes, that is diseases that are transmitted by mosquitoes, and you are now aware what all things you should do. So now you have got enough time. Take care. Help out your parents also, and don't forget to wake up early and do your all sorts of your work. Okay? Bye. Take care.